From the Ron Miller Race Car Studio, this is the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome to the Hammer Down Racing Report for Thursday, June 20th.
How's the volume now, wife?
Experiencing some headphone issues across the studio, but I think we're getting things sorted out.
Yeah, I think somebody turned the knob, maybe.
No. Live from the Ron Miller Race Car Studio, this is the Hammer Down Racing Report. We're coming at you live on YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Facebook Live, and we're not squished this week, so I think we got that fixed. Still working out our new cameras. We got a nice new camera system.
Yeah, it was pretty expensive, but
I'm glad you could afford it.
Nothing is too good for Hammer Down Racing Report.
Make sure to like us on Facebook if you haven't already. If you did, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Follow us on Twitter at Hammer Reports. And make sure you listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, be it iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google, Spotify. We're on all of them.
All of them.
There you go. So no excuse not to catch your favorite racing show each and every week. And next week, I will be gone for the very first time we've been doing this show. I will be out of the country, as a matter of fact. So Ron's going to be on his own.
And being on my own doesn't scare me, Scott, but...
That's because that's how you started.
Yeah, but boy, I am really worried.
Tom will do just fine.
You're about the only one that really knows
There's a lot of...
the inner workings of...
There's a lot of different things that go on.
What has been hammered out.
We're going to go... That's nice. I see what you did there. We're going to go over tomorrow afternoon everything. I'll have him write everything down, so it should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
It'll be fine next week. Next week will be great, and working on a pretty cool guest for next week, too.
I'm hoping it comes through.
This week, tonight's show, we're going to be talking to Ryan Missler in about a little less than 20 minutes or so. He's going to be calling
Or
in.
a little over 15.
Depends on how you look at it.
That's right. It's half full, half empty, you know.
So we'll talk to him, five-time Attica Raceway champion, current point leader at Oakshade. I think he's like sixth in points at Attica right now, at least last I checked.
Yeah, he had a couple of issues there.
Yeah. So we'll be talking to him and about his season.
I think I remember seeing a picture of him at Attica doing some aerobatics.
Really? We'll definitely have to ask him about that. Also, we'll have an update on the Ohio Sprint Speed Week, which has been pretty interesting if you've been following that with the weather. And Ryan Weekman did say we're going to have some racing this week. I don't know, but we'll have his weekend weather pit stop coming up a little bit later on this evening.
We can only hope, Scott. This is going on. This is going on way too long.
It was recorded before Lima Land pulled the plug, which they did shortly before. Not that long ago, before we came on the air here tonight. So the Ohio Sprint Speed Week show, scheduled for Lima Land tomorrow night, is going to be at Atomic instead.
Same night, though.
Yes, Friday
tomorrow
night. Yes,
yeah.
So same night, yeah. We'll talk more about that later and give you an update on all the different pieces being moved around. There were some interesting things going on.
It's really crazy that they're shuffling these races around.
And interesting that it worked, too.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about that. And Ron Miller Race Cars. We'll be talking about Ron Miller Race Cars because he is the official sponsor of the Hammer Down Racing Report. If you'd like to be an official sponsor of the Hammer Down Racing Report,
and you can displace me for the right price.
HammerdownRacingReport.com has all the information on there. But for now, make sure to call Ron, 734-856-7223. He was looking a little, looks like he needed a little more to do the other day when I was up at your shop.
Yeah, actually, we got a couple of street cars in that need some work. And we do it all, Scott. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
dragsters, pavement cars.
That's right.
Go-karts?
Yeah. I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago, we did a really neat table for someone's backyard. Yeah, it was a glass top table with all kinds of neat bends and twists. And
so if you're looking for a unique gift and you have an idea, and
draw it out and we'll build it.
There you go. If you got the money, he'll make it happen.
That's right.
How fast do you want to go?
We just built a spare tire rack or holder for the back of a 1948 Jeepster. So, yeah, like you say, If you can dream it, we can build it.
Fabrication specialists. 734-856-7223. That's Ron Miller Race Cars. You should change the name. Ron Miller Race Cars and more. Or Ron Miller Race Cars and other stuff.
That's it.
Yeah. We'll get some T-shirts printed.
Scott.
Hammer Down, or the Hammer Down Race Report Dirty 30 is coming up October 3rd. Have you put that in your calendar yet?
I have.
As have I. We're going to be racing dirt cars on the asphalt at Sandusky Speedway. It's a Thursday night, October 3rd. Not going to put dirt on the track, just dirt cars. We're going to be running UMP late model rules, a little bit different on the tires other than that.
But they will be dirt tires. You won't have to go out and buy a new set of tires just for this race. And the length of the race is
30.
Tailored to what we can do. And I'm pretty familiar with running the dirt tires on Sandusky. And
you've won a few times with dirt, but
without.
But it's not the winged car you're going to be running.
That's true.
It'll be a regular UMP dirt,
which will make it easier on tires.
There you go.
Unless you get stupid and
couple of support classes, trucks and bombers combined. The Fremont dirt trucks, the Oakshade bombers, 2-barrel only. So if you got a 4-barrel, you got to unhook the back two, and front-wheel drive. And just last week we found out that that is going to pay at least $800 to win.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's front-wheel drive dirt versus asphalt car.
Right.
So if you got a front-wheel drive asphalt racer or a dirt, either one, boom,
bring it
for $800.
You know, Scott, and we've been talking about this with the folks over at Sandusky, and we're working on a couple of higher-profile drivers that could make it really interesting from a fan standpoint.
And some TV coverage.
That's right.
So we'll see. It won't be live, probably, if it's on the network I'm thinking of. So you still want to go there and be part of this, even if you're not racing, just to check out the interesting thing that'll be going on the track. Nate Potts was the latest to sign up or pre-register for this late model driver.
Very good.
Nate Potts from Republic, Ohio, I do believe. And if you'd like to pre-register, you have any inkling on participating in this race in any of the classes, head on over to SanduskySpeedway.com/dirty30, I believe it is, or just go to hammerdownracingreport.com. We got a link on there, or even our Facebook page. I got it pinned, a link to a post with the link pinned to the top of that page. So.
This is going to be a must-see event. It really is.
It's different.
It's going to be different. It's going to be interesting.
It's going the end of the season, so
it's going to be and it'll be exciting from a fan standpoint, and the racers are going to enjoy it.
And I was talking to I think I was talking to Doug Dock over there just before we came on. This might be about the time of mid-season championships with the way things are going with all the cancellations. Yeah. Or I said maybe that could be the hangover race. Could be mid-season championships at this rate. But anyways, make sure to check that out. HammerdownRaceReport.com.
If you're considering
Dirty 30.
If you're considering going, please sign up. It doesn't cost anything, and it's not an etched in stone commitment. It's just that we would like to know that you're interested, and we promise to bug the heck out of you as we get closer to October 3rd.
There you go. Let's talk about some racing action that took place last weekend. And
Was
some
there any?
Racing action that did not. Oakshade got rained out. The Fremont stuff got rained out. The Flat Rock stuff got rained out. Both Saturday and Sunday. Sandusky and Eldora all rained out.
Did Lima get in?
We did. They did get in.
Yeah.
I got some results there. But first, Fremont,
right.
the Boss Show, the Buckeye Outlaw Sprint Series, that has been rescheduled for the 13th of July. And that means the trucks will be off that night because they already had a full show there.
What's the Boss Show at Oakshade?
That is the 10th, I believe, of August.
Okay.
It's August. I believe it's the 10th. It's on the schedule, OakshadeRaceway.com.
Okay. All right.
I'm pretty sure it's the 10th of August. So trying to make things up as it continues to rain out there. Lima Land, like I said, was in action. It was their second consecutive race, actually. So they have as many races in this year as Oakshade does, too. And
out of 8 for us,
well,
for Oakshade anyway.
2 out of 7, I think, for Lima Land, so not as bad. Cloverdale, Ohio's Jared Horseman picked up the win in the 18th annual Run for the Rabbit 360 Sprint feature at Lima Land. And Taylor Cook Our buddy Taylor was over there and won the modified feature. Jordan Conover won his second consecutive Thunderstock feature. So I got to put that down. The camera's lower. I keep forgetting about that.
Hello.
Toledo Speedway also was in action, so the Friday night tracks got some things going. Tommy O'Leary IV took the late model sportsman victory by inches over Greg Stillwell Jr.
From what I understand, that was a great race to watch.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of video of that last lap. It was pretty good looking.
Now, Tommy O'Leary had really hurt his car a couple of weeks earlier and was driving one of Howard Kelly's backup cars. So, a great.
So we got it done in the backup car.
Yep, great race by both of them, and congratulations to both of them.
Matt Ringer is now 2 for 2 with his factory stock win at Toledo Speedway on Friday night. Trent Gosser got the Vors Compact Series win over Gary Eaton. Chad Schuer topped Ryan Clare in a best-of-5 match in the street drag contest.
Pretty interesting with the compacts because they were on the half
Compact
mile
Series. Yeah, I saw that. I was surprised by that. That's kind of cool.
And I guess they were really getting with the program.
I would have liked to have seen that. I didn't see much of that. I just saw some pictures, and I was like, wait, those guys look like they're on the half mile. Those look like some higher banks than the little quarter mile. Pretty cool deal there. They were supposed to be at Flat Rock with Kenny Schrader. Was it Kenny Schrader? Yeah.
Yeah.
Racing
but that didn't happen.
Saturday night, but that got canceled, unfortunately, thanks to Mother Nature. Attica Raceway Park was in action. They kicked off the 2019 Ohio Sprint Speed Week, the 37th annual. It was the opener, and Kyle Larson picked up his 9th career All-Star Circuit of Champion feature win. Aaron Rutzel was leading early before getting caught up in an accident with 2 cars that he was about to pass to put a lap down. Dale Blaney held off Buddy Kofoid to finish second. Kofoid finished third.
Scott, I did a little more research on Buddy Kofoid after last week's show. I was very impressed with how well he carried himself in front of a microphone. And boy, I'll tell you, this kid is the real deal. And it's amazing the similarities between his early years and Jeff Gordon's early years. Jeff Gordon started off at 5 years old in quarter midgets. Buddy started off 5 years old in go-karts, and they both did well on
both from California.
Both from California. They both did pretty well on a tight budget there, and both of them wound up in northwestern Ohio. Jeff Gordon was with Mike Stryker, who was a good team, but it wasn't a highly funded team, and he did very well. And of course, the Linders, they're far from a high budget team. They run a good program, well structured internally, but the similarities between those two guys is amazing, and I am really looking at great things from him. And everybody that I've talked to that has watched him race says he's the real deal.
So how long until he moves up into one of the NASCAR series?
I don't know if he's on anybody's radar, but he certainly should be.
He probably will be soon, if he's not yet.
Well, and Kyle Larson has taken a real interest in him, so
there he's on somebody's radar.
Absolutely.
Isn't Kyle going back to sprint car racing once he's done with?
Yeah, but he's not done yet. He's still in. He's still in Cup.
Maybe he'll help fill his seat when he decides to go full-time sprint car racing.
I don't know, but somebody needs to pick him up.
Absolutely. Devin Shields earned his 6th career Attica late model feature win, which put him atop the Attica late model points. That was Friday night as well. So that was all the action in our area.
Did you see any of the fireworks from the NASCAR Cup truck race?
Yes, we will talk about that.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I got some updates on it.
Yeah.
Lucas Oil late model action. Kyle Bronson passed Brandon Overton on lap 44 before cruising to his second Lucas Oil late model victory last Thursday at Fayetteville, North Carolina Motor Speedway. Fayetteville Motor Speedway in North Carolina. Mike Marlar won the 21st annual Grassy Smith Memorial on Friday at Cherokee Speedway in South Carolina, and Hudson O'Neill took the lead for Marlar on Saturday night at Smoky Mountain Speedway in Tennessee to pick up the 15,000 win at or in the Big Daddy 60.
Okay.
There you go. The Lucas Oil late models are off this weekend. They're back in action Friday, June 28th at Tazewell Speedway. And Florence on Saturday, 29th. Week from Saturday.
Staying out of the rain, maybe.
Hopefully. And speaking of that which, don't forget we have that forecast coming up. Keep an eye for if... I got that thing kind of behind me over there. World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprints were in action. Brian Brown won his first World of Outlaw race of the season. It was the 5th of his career at Knoxville on Friday night. Rain delayed action Saturday, but Brad Sweet ended up winning. I guess they finished really late Saturday night, Sunday morning. This weekend, the World of Outlaw race, the Jim J.B. Boyd Memorial Beaver Dam Raceway is scheduled for Saturday in Wisconsin. Then they're going to go to Iowa next week. Next week, Thursday night, they'll be at Jackson Motorplex in Minnesota. That's Thursday through Saturday. So
Okay.
Lots of races coming up for the World of Outlaws. ARCA was in action at Madison International Speedway. Chandler Smith, youngster there, earned his second straight ARCA race win. That was Friday. Haley Deegan finished 12th. Next up is the Gateway Motorsports Park in Madison, Illinois on Saturday. Wait, that is not next up because I didn't update that from before. I didn't update my notes.
You're still working from last week?
I guess so on that one.
Oh, okay.
I got so excited about the NASCAR stuff that went on that, lots happened in the truck race. The truck race actually got postponed, so they ran both races on Father's Day.
Right.
Which was last Sunday. And Ross Chastain won, apparently, the Gander Outdoors Truck Series race at Iowa, and then he didn't.
Right.
For the first time since 1960, I believe.
That the winner was totally disqualified.
Yes. So apparently the front of his truck was found to be too low during post-race inspection, again resulting in disqualification. Chastain becomes the first driver to be disqualified after apparently winning a race since 1960 when Emmanuel
Zervakis.
Okay, you've heard of him?
Yes.
Okay.
I mentored him.
I believe that. He was DQ'd for having an oversized fuel tank at Wilson Speedway. And I guess he got some pretty good fuel mileage from what I read.
Yeah.
That definitely helped him to win.
Incredible, yeah.
Would this have helped Ross Chastain to win, do you think?
You know, he hit the wall early on, so there could have been some mitigating circumstances, but apparently in the appeal, that mitigating circumstance failed to convince the committee that they should let his win stand.
Yeah, he appealed it, obviously, and they did cite that there was damage that may have caused that to be too low. The appeal was denied, and they have no further action they can take.
Okay, that's the first interesting part of the race.
Yeah, that is the first interesting. We'll get to the other part. Let's get to it now.
Oh, your phone's ringing.
Well, we can talk to Ryan about that. How's that?
Yeah.
All right, let's Hammer Down Racer Report.
Scott Hammer.
Ryan Missler.
Hey, I'm here too. Don't snub me.
Ron, you know I like you.
Yeah. You better.
What is up with this picture of you in the go-kart with the blonde hair? How'd that happen?
Well, here's a story. So Scott's talking about this post that my wife put up on Ryan Missler Racing's Facebook page. It's from 2002, so that's the year that I graduated high school. And for the track team, me and a couple other track team members for Bellevue High School all dyed our hair blonde for that season. So it was all blonde, and what you see in that picture was the aftermath of after it's growing out. So it's still blonde on top and black on the sides, and it was brown on the sides. It was quite...
I'll bet you were hit with the ladies.
No, I was... let's see. I don't think so.
I think that was sarcasm.
I might have been with my wife at that time.
Oh. Okay.
my girlfriend, I guess she would have been.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because we started dating. Yeah, that would have been summer of 2002, so we would have been dating then.
What'd she think of that look?
I guess she must have liked it.
She's still there.
Did you see any of the action that happened in the truck race on Sunday?
The
NASCAR truck race?
NASCAR trucks?
Yeah.
I saw just a highlight of I forget who it was, taking out the other guy, and then he retaliated and took him out.
Johnny Sauter.
That's what we were just about to talk about here.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
NASCAR didn't seem to see it that way.
So Austin Hill and Johnny Sauter were having an issue on the track. They I guess Austin Hill got into, or Johnny got into Austin a little bit. Austin returned the favor.
Just bumped
and
him.
actually, I thought
early on.
But didn't Austin turn him into the wall and wreck him?
Nah.
Not intentionally, but I mean, it ended up in a wreck, and then Sauter came back out, and under caution, just
earlier in the race, they had a couple of little bumps between them,
and supposedly this stems back to something even before Sunday.
Apparently, neither one of them forgot about it.
So Sauter has been suspended one race because of that.
Well, and they parked him for that race, so he finished dead last.
And he's going to sit out this weekend. He's going to go late model racing.
Really?
Short track, yeah. I think in Wisconsin I read.
Oh, that's right. His background was pavement late models, so sure.
And
so was the guy that wrecked Sauter a younger kid?
Yes.
All right. So and Johnny Sauter's been doing it a while.
Long time.
So
okay.
He should probably know better, right?
That's a little bit of the old veteran teaching the young buck, how to race somebody.
Yeah, and don't you forget it.
Right.
Have you ever done any retaliation under the caution?
Yeah.
More than once?
There's just one that I recall in my brain right now.
Where was this and what happened?
Well, I was at Attica, and it was probably 6, 7, 8 years ago or so. And that year, it was later in the year, if I remember right, and we had been getting banged around a lot that season, and maybe a couple weeks leading up to this. And I was winning a heat race, and a guy come in and just door slammed me on the last lap going into turn 1 and totally knocked me out of the groove, and we were both in a redraw spot, first and second, and just got door slammed. And I don't know, that was the tipping point there. I gotten hit, I think, several weeks in a row, just tired of getting banged around, so that was the final straw. So after the checker flag, I finished second still. So I still was in a redraw, but I was mad, so I spun him out going down the back stretch, when we were supposed to be pulling off the track. I spun him right around. So I got disqualified, and I had to start tail the B main that night.
But you still made the show.
Yeah, we won that B main, and I think we finished top 10. I don't remember where.
Ryan, I know you watch the show, and I've said it a lot of times that if you don't make a statement, they'll think you like it, and that makes you fair game. So, sometimes you just got to take it into your own hands.
Did that? Was there any further action taken by this other driver, or was that pretty much it after that night?
No. That's it. And he didn't race for a while after that season. He might have switched divisions, but him and I are pretty good buddies now. We talk to each other like we're buddies, I guess we say right now.
So you could say who it is, right?
Kosher. Yeah, it was Chester Fitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard not to like Chester.
I get along with Chester real good.
Okay, fair enough.
We had our run-ins back in the day.
Is there anybody you have run-ins with this year?
This year?
Yeah.
I have a terrible memory. I think everything's been good so far.
Okay. So before we get too far into things here with Ryan Missler, I have to ask you, with all the rainouts that have been happening Is there a surplus of Missler sweets lying around that maybe we could help take off your hands?
There are some. She's been baking. She's got a little, my wife Amber's got a little garage sale she's doing this weekend, so she's baked some stuff to sell at the garage sale. So it's kind of like a garage sale / little bake sale. But then we're going to Hartford on Friday for the ethanol race, and there'll be a couple people have some orders we're taking there, and then we'll be at Oakshade on Saturday, and we always take orders for Missler Sweets at Oakshade.
So what happens?
So yeah, we have some.
What happens when you take the orders and then, like Oakshade, rains out? What happens to that those sweets?
You haven't noticed that Ryan's been gaining some weight?
No, I'm staying about a solid 170 to 175. I'm pretty good.
Depending on the rainouts.
Right. But no, she'll run like a flash sale on Facebook, on her Facebook page, and sell them locally.
Okay.
She did that the last time, and then, but sometimes, yeah, she's had piles of sweets here.
So they don't go to waste.
It's not normally, no.
Okay.
Somebody will take advantage of it, or we'll give them away, or.
Well, while we're talking about it, why don't you tell us how, if somebody wants to order some Missler sweets, how they can go about doing that?
Yeah, they can go to MisslerSweets.com. So it's Missler with an S at the end and sweets.com. MisslersSweets.com.
So MISSLERSSWEET?
You got it.
Okay.
Lots of S's in there.
That is a lot of S's.
Well, if you get halfway through it,
it'll figure.
the
Just
autocomplete
Google it.
will do
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
I'm sure it'll find it.
No, on the
so
go ahead, Ryan.
you can go right there and we'll ship them to you.
I was going to say if you've got a surplus of day old stuff, just FedEx them on up to my shop and we'll square up somewhere along the way.
Sounds good. You can put them out for your customers when they
That's
come.
it.
All right, so let's talk about racing this year. What is the biggest thing that's different this year from last year for you?
Oh, the biggest thing is that I'm not working on the race car day to day this year. It's up in Michigan and at Matt Carmody's place. He's the guy that owns everything, and I'm just playing show up at the track and drive. So that's the biggest thing. You know, I've gone up to help out a little bit here and there, but those guys up there are taking care of the car and maintenance and that sort of thing.
I'm assuming different equipment than you've been running in the past.
Well, it's the same chassis, same car we ran last year.
Okay.
Yep. Just we in the off season we had it at Rick DeLong's and went through it, and Rick guided and did the body on it, and just made sure everything was right. And Rick's really been helping us out this year, and it's the same car we ran last year. It feels really good, and we're learning some things. We're racing, a lot of different places this year. If you didn't notice that, last year and in years past we'd basically just run Attica and Oakshade, and that was it. And maybe sometimes at Fremont or something. But this year we've been traveling up in the Michigan I-96, and we went down to Atomic. And
is that because of some of the rainouts that have you've been looking for other places, or was that the plan going into the season to hit these places?
Well, the plan was to go to different places, and run for a little bit more money, and some of it was rainouts too. Yeah. So, but racing so much, we just stumbled across a few things that I feel comfortable with in the car, and we're applying it, when we come back to Attica and Oakshade, and it seems to be fitting, seems to be working good.
The American Ethanol Series, the payoff is really enticing. Have you thought about following that more than what you have?
we talked about running it, but they still go. There's shows out in Illinois that are 7-8 hours away, and yeah, we talked about it, but we figured this year it wasn't feasible, but it's not out of the question in probably the years coming.
Okay, are you running for track championships at Oakshade and Attica this year?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Well, you are leading the points at Oakshade, so you're on track there. It sounds like you have a little bit of work to do, though, at Attica.
Yeah, Oakshade, we got a first and a second. And Attica, we started off pretty good, but we broke a drive shaft the one night, and we were just plagued with stuff that night and didn't even get to start the A main, so that put us behind. They haven't updated the points, but we should be close to fourth, but we're quite a few points away from Shields. He should be winning it now.
Okay, and you got actually the last time Oakshade ran, you picked up the feature win there, as you just mentioned. How big was that for you?
That was awesome. Even though it was a regular show, I just felt the car felt really good, as in a lot better than it did last year, and it was awesome, and it probably wasn't that exciting for everybody watching because we won by a little bit of a margin there, which is great because the last race that I won there, which was several years ago, we didn't win by a lot. We were just barely hanging on, so it feels good to win. Being the fastest car in convincing fashion.
No,
so
that was the Wallace Racing Products night. So you've got some nice hardware from that too, right?
Yeah, that was great. I definitely appreciate Dan and Lisa for putting that night on.
Now, what do you think your chances are going into next month's birthday race, the 10,000 to win race at Oakshade?
I've never been more confident in a car, so that would be awesome for sure to do well in those races. I hope that we have some better track conditions than in the past, and we get the race, and see who's got the best car. But I with the way the year's been going, I think that's going to happen. I think the weather's going to be in our favor, hopefully, instead
Fingers
of
crossed.
95-degree days.
Speaking of track conditions, what would Ryan Missler like to see for track conditions on that weekend? Do you want a heavy track? Do you want it black and slick bottom to top? Obviously you don't want it rubber down.
Yeah, no rubber. Just starting off the night, have some moisture so you can get into it and turn some quick lap times, and then of course obviously you're going to have the track slick off. But if it does take rubber, hopefully it takes rubber on lap 50 and not lap 5.
Right.
That's what I hope for.
Okay.
Have you what's been your best finish in the birthday race? Do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, last year I think we got 10.
Okay. Yeah. So what position would you be disappointed with? I guess if you don't, what are you looking at to finish this year that you wouldn't be disappointed?
If top 5.
Top 5. Okay.
That's what we're shooting for, and it'd be sweet to win, but we'd be happy with top 5. But definitely going to win.
Have you ever considered running the Summer National Series?
If the funding was there, I own and operate a machine shop here in Bellevue, so the day-to-day, it's only me and my dad. So something would have to change. I wouldn't be able to take off work for a month. That would be very difficult. Maybe if we someday get to a place where I don't have to be there running the shop day-to-day, add a few more employees and get her up and going to where it's self-sustainable, then maybe we could go out and do that, but that just seems like hell.
Well, that's why it's called the Hell Tour.
Ryan, on a weekly basis, we don't do a lot of qualifying around here, but then we get to the Summer Nationals, and qualifying is everything for those races. how are you at qualifying, and how would you like to see racing locally? Group qualifying, individual qualifying, or just keep on with the pill draws?
I like the idea of the group qualifying and maybe inverting some, like kind of like the ethanol does. We don't qualify a whole heck of a lot either, but this year we've qualified more than we ever have, just running the different shows that we've been running, and been qualifying pretty decent actually. But I would like to see something so like a group qualifying effort, but not nothing that's gonna eat up the track.
Absolutely,
The All-Star sprints at Attica this past Friday, they had 53 sprint cars, I think, and they all did their qualifying, and that track was absolute junk when they were done with it.
It was used up.
It was used up, but Attica, they got on it and they watered it and got it back into racing shape, and the track was good for the features, But yeah, something that it doesn't eat up the track for qualifying, that would be my vote.
I've found that if you don't qualify regularly, you get really bad at it, and you're at a major disadvantage when you go to a race where qualifying is everything.
Yeah, you are. You definitely, if you don't practice something, if you don't treat your hot laps like you're qualifying, then you're not going to be good at qualifying. So, yeah, I agree.
Okay. Again, we're talking to Ryan Missler, 5-time Attica Raceway champion, and running for the Oakshade Championship. What would it mean to you if you're able to get the Oakshade Track Championship this year?
That would be great. That's what we're striving for. That would be really cool.
What other? Is there any other tracks that would be super cool to get the track championship at?
I think Eldora track champion would be super sweet. But we would have to run all the races there, and we had gone in the season thinking that we wanted to do that, but we didn't get our other motor back until just this past week or 2 weeks ago. So we decided to play it safe and shoot for some championships and grow the racing kitty a little bit if we would do well in the point standings at these tracks, and then we can be on a better starting point at the beginning of next year to where we can run all the races at Eldora.
I thought you were going to tell me that 355 just wasn't going to be enough at Eldora.
It probably feels like what we have right now. If we would take it to Eldora and run against those big wide bores, it would feel like a 355.
No, I can. I can relate.
Have you given any thought to what's on tap for next season?
No, not really. We're just focusing on doing well and winning races, and we'll think about that in more depth in the off season.
What's your long-term plans? I mean, you plan to run late models for the foreseeable future, or is there at some point, is there something else you'd like to get into?
No, I'm happy with late models, and I'm happy with just running local to branching out a little bit in the region here, and just trying to be a factor in any race that we go to in the region here.
Have you ever won a race at Sandusky Speedway?
Have I ever wanted to?
No, have you ever won a race at Sandusky Speedway?
I believe I won a go-kart race at Sandusky Speedway.
Well, that shoots down what I was going to say. Have you ever won a dirt late model race at Sandusky Speedway?
No, I haven't.
Would you like to?
Am I going to be racing on dirt?
No, it'd be on asphalt. It'd be the Hammer Down Race Report Dirty 30, October 3rd at Sandusky Speedway.
I read about that. How did that come about?
Chris Mize over there, he's got a crazy mind. He likes to do some strange stuff, and we thought it was a pretty cool idea.
Thought we'd run with it.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's interesting.
And it's going to be pretty decent payout, kind of like a weekly race.
1,200?
1,200 to win, 200 to start, and pretty decent payback.
So if you're not doing...
I wouldn't know how to set up a car for that.
That's why it's going to be fun.
It could be a mess.
It could be that, too. There's a lot of unknowns.
From having a lot of laps at that place, I can tell you that you've got to reverse all your thinking.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, if you're free...
I think you're going to have if I run that, Ron, I think you'll have a step up on me there.
I think there'll be a lot of people coming to Ron for asking for some pointers and at least starting points for setups, I'm guessing.
Do you need more stagger on asphalt, or you need less?
Really a little bit less, and you kind of got to neutralize your bars and, take some of the rear steer out of the car.
Just say, I would think you'd have to make it less erratic.
Exactly.
Because you're going to have a lot of grip. I've driven the race car down the road. And it's pretty erratic.
Well, there you go. The end of the season, hopefully we'll see you there October 3rd. It's a Thursday night. It's on Dusky Speedway.
October 3rd, okay.
It's a Thursday.
Mark that on your calendar.
On a Thursday? Why?
Yeah.
It's in conjunction with other racing
with the Cavalcade that weekend. That's their big season-ending show, and we would be kind of the prelude to the Cavalcade.
Okay. Gotcha. Oh, I got a text message here that I'm supposed to say that Devin Shields is a cheater.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Was that from Devin?
No, that wasn't from Devin.
I thought he was going to finally come clean and admit it.
That's why I'm wearing his shirt tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's extra fitting. He's on another radio. He's on another radio program tonight.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Why would they be talking to him though?
I don't know.
All right then. So what are your plans again for this weekend? You said Hartford on tap for tomorrow night. Have you raced there before?
Nope, never been to Hartford. I watched some videos this week, trying to get a feel for what the track's like. Looks bigger. Looks flat.
It used to be a half-mile track.
Oh yeah, it was a big half.
But they've shrunk it down.
Yeah, it's a 3/8, 4/10. With
definitely
some
smaller than it was from what I've looked at.
Yeah, it used to be a yodeling place. Actually, your speeds at the long end of the straightaway on the old track were higher than at Eldora.
I believe it. That looked like more like a 5/8 mile or something.
Yeah, and it really was. I think for insurance purposes, they called it a half, and on the very, very inside, it might have been a half-ish.
Okay. So we're doing the ethanol race at Hartford, and then we'll be at Oakshade for the Night of Wheels, and we got a couple scooters we're bringing along. Hopefully, they get a good turnout of donations for bikes and whatnot for the kids on Saturday.
And hopefully the weather will cooperate too, which sounds like things are kind of the forecast is changing a little bit for this weekend. Again, we'll have some details on that coming up shortly.
Well, that's good.
So make sure you listen after we sign off with you and listen to what Ryan Weekman has to say. Oh, good job, Scott. I think you were done with that pen.
I break things.
You were done with that pen anyway, weren't you?
Bill Daniel says he'll drive for you in the Dirty 30 if you need well, it's not your car though, right? So.
No, not mine.
Yeah.
You'll take that up with Matt.
All right. Well, we appreciate the time, Mr. Missler. I just wanted to say that, Mr. Missler.
Mr. Missler. Thanks a lot, guys. It's a lot of fun always be on your show.
Next time, hopefully we can get you in the studio again, and you can bring your wife and the sweets.
Yeah, there you go. Now I know why you wanted me to come in there.
Damn straight.
That has nothing to do with it. Nah.
No, we're flooded over here. Not us in particular, but Bellevue got a bunch of rain today, and it's all over the Toledo News.
Yeah, I saw.
Everything's flooded.
Pictures everywhere. It's just water. This is ridiculous. And I was trying to get Ryan Weekman in the studio this week again to explain what's going on, but he had a previous engagement. Those weather guys. So.
Oh, well.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, good luck this weekend at Hartford and at Oakshade, and on your quest to become a champion at Attica and Oakshade this year.
All right, guys. Thanks, Scott and Ron. See you later.
Thanks, Ryan.
Bye, Ryan. Ryan Missler, again, 5-time Attica Raceway late model champion and leader in the points right now at Oakshade with only 2 races under the books, but it may take only 4 races to win the season this year.
That's sad, Scott. That is really sad.
And I'm going to be out of town the next 2 weekends, so I'm going to go into July having raced twice.
You know, at this point, we're a third of the way through the season.
Yeah. It's not cool. Not happy about that. But it's not the track's fault. I mean,
no.
I'm not mad at them or anything. It's
no,
just,
they went out of their way to get one show in a couple of weeks ago.
The news outlets are all reporting about how we've had so much rain this year, and how, I forget what the percentage was, like 80% of the weekends this year have been rain.
80 plus. Yeah. I thought it was 83 maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah, something crazy.
Where did I leave off with our stuff here? Oh, we were talking about some NASCAR stuff. Back to the truck thing, Brett Moffitt was awarded the win of that truck race.
And his truck was legal.
His truck was legal, yeah. And they did appeal, like we said, the... no, that's... Never mind. I'm mixing things up now. I'm mixing up the Ross Chastain and the fight. Anyways, Brett was awarded the win of the truck race. Because Ross Chastain... Yeah,
I don't think there was any appeal on the extracurricular activities.
Ross Chastain did appeal the ride height violation, and I think it was yesterday that they denied that appeal. So, and I guess Nice Motorsports, is that the guy's name?
Yes.
He's not real happy about it. I saw an article today. It says, "Why are we even doing this?"
Well, and the sad part is that they had initially said that they were going to run the entire Xfinity series for points, and they switched to the Truck Series, and now they got their win taken away from them.
And their appeal, again, like you said, was based on damage suffered during the race.
Right.
And I guess there's no ride height rule in the Cup Series. It's just Xfinity and trucks.
Right.
So I don't even know what that is. Is that just the height of... What is the ride height?
I would imagine it's bumper to ground clearance.
Okay. So that could get bent down if you hit the wall or something.
Oh, yeah.
Does that matter, though? Do they take that into consideration? No, I mean, when they do the post-race inspection, I understand you don't work for NASCAR and probably don't know, but I mean, you'd think that they would take that into consideration, that, stuff happens. Things get bent.
Yeah.
My car, when I come back from the track, it doesn't always look the same as it went out.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just weird. Christopher Bell won his 4th Xfinity Series win of the year later Sunday afternoon at Iowa Speedway. This weekend, the trucks are at Worldwide Technology Raceway, which is formerly Gateway in St. Louis there. That's the Saturday late start, 10 o'clock, 10 p.m., Fox Sports 1. Xfinity Series will be at Chicagoland in a couple weeks, so I guess they're off this weekend. And the Cup Series is going to be at, I still like to call it Sears Point, but it's Sonoma Raceway now. That's on Sunday on FS1, and I guess they got the carousel back. They're going back to the old track, which is pretty cool. I like that track better when it was that way. Summer National update, the Dirt Late Model Summer Nationals. They've been suffering some rainouts, too. Not quite as bad as the Ohio Sprint Speed Week.
They should be racing right now, getting things started at... What are they, Sycamore?
Spoon River tonight. Yeah. Brian Shirley, who is not planning on running the whole tour, won on night number 1 of the Summer Nationals, which turned out to be the second scheduled night because the original opening night got rained out. That was at Kankakee County Speedway. That was Thursday night. Rusty finished 3rd in that race. Chuck Hummer was 16th. Sycamore Speedway was postponed to July 8th. The Dirt Oval at Route 66 was postponed to July 1st. And Fayette County Speedway was postponed to be announced date.
Now, one of those shows, they got the heat races and B mains in, so the field is set for the feature.
Which one that was?
Yeah.
They were off on Monday. That was a scheduled off night. Tuesday night, it was Brandon Shepard picking up the win at Jacksonville Speedway. Wednesday night's action at Belclair Speedway was canceled due to rain, and again tonight is Spoon River Speedway.
Did you see the qualifying shot
Of Rusty's
Rusty
car up on its side?
Yeah.
I did see that.
Yeah, that had to be an oh crap moment, man.
We should ask him about that.
Yeah.
So that's your update on the Summer Nationals. We'll keep following that for you. Ohio Sprint Speed Week. So are you ready for this? So this was originally 9 straight days of sprint car racing around Ohio, starting last week at Attica, which Kyle Larson won. Saturday night, they were supposed to be at Eldora. Rain won that. Sunday night actually did happen. Muskegon County Speedway, Dale Blaney was the winner there. And then that's when things started getting real weird. No, I guess it was Tuesday it started getting. Was it? Monday was supposed to be at Wayne County Speedway. That got rained out. Tuesday was supposed to be at Sharon Speedway with Wayne County as a backup.
Right.
And both of those said no, it wasn't going to happen because of rain. And then yesterday was supposed to be at Atomic Speedway, but they rained out, so they raced at Wayne County. They set that race up at like 8 o'clock in the morning is when they started to do that.
How do you do that? And there must be a huge fan following for that.
Yeah.
For that 1 week series, where they don't have to worry about
they are kind
putting butts in the seat.
Well, it's not like they're going from out of state; they're within the state. Still, it's a lot of driving, but
it is. And how do you tell all your fans, hey, look,
social media.
We're 100 miles away.
It's all about social media. Tony Stewart had something to do with it. He's got a lot of followers too. So yeah, they put that race. Yeah, I guess it had a pretty good crowd last night. And Aaron Rutzel was the winner at Wayne County last evening. Tonight they were supposed to be at Mansfield. Guess who won that?
Weatherman.
Yep, rain won there. And tomorrow at Lima Land was supposed to happen, but that has been canceled, and now they're going to be running at Atomic.
Yeah.
So there you go. I haven't even added that to my notes. So at least they're doing stuff. Trying to get the races in somehow, some way.
Now, didn't Atomic have...
Atomic was going to run late models.
A $5,000 to win race.
Now it's like the Night of Champions, I think, and they're still having the late models and the All-Stars.
For $5,000. Or
$5,000 for the late models.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's the $5,000.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how much for the All-Stars. I think it's at least $5,000.
Wow, that's a big leap of faith, Scott.
Yeah, well, they had a race planned at least. It was going to be late models and probably something else. So, I mean, it's not like they were just putting together a race last minute like Wayne County did on a Wednesday night in the middle of the night.
Right, well,
the power of social media.
When they initially moved it to Atomic, they said support classes to be announced.
Well, that's why.
Yeah, so now I guess the sprint cars are the support class. I don't know.
Yeah, that might be a pretty even mix there.
Yeah.
Especially since it is Ohio Sprint Speed Week. So they're going to close things out Saturday night at Wayne County Speedway. Weatherman, hopefully, if the weatherman cooperates.
Oh, yeah.
So, hopefully. I think the weekend forecast looks pretty good. Some other random notes. USAC Silver Crown Series went to Williams Grove Speedway in Pennsylvania, and Sylvania's Austin Niemeyer finished 6th in that. Chad Kemino was 11th. Some other news here. Some random. Chad Ruhlman and Brian Ruhlman had a 1-2 finish at Raceway 7 in Conneaut, Ohio. So the Ruhlman brothers doing some...
in their sprint cars.
I think that was Rush Sprints.
Yeah, I think.
Write that down. I think that's what it was. So... mods wrecked, one flipped, all drivers okay. Mark Burns, I guess, is watching the Summer Nationals.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty much all the news that I think I have here. We talked about Ross Chastain and everything. So we should have played How Many with Ryan before we...
How many what?
How many bikes/kids wheeled vehicles are going to be at Oakshade this weekend?
How many bikes?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Ryan, you can text your... You can message Scott.
Yeah, you can send me a message. We'll get his number in here. How many wheeled vehicles will be given away at Oakshade this weekend?
Alan, you're up first. 18. Oh, I think you're way light, but that's okay.
Have you seen a Night of Wheels night before?
Only from the pits.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll give him 18. I think that's a little low.
Mrs. Miller?
26.
I think that's a little low, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you got?
43.
I think that's a little low.
I do too, but
I'm going with 44 or 0.
yeah, well,
44. We'll go with 44. So there you go. Upcoming races scheduled for this weekend. We're already losing a lot of them. Mansfield, as we mentioned, they're supposed to have Ohio Sprint Speed Week race tonight.
Attica was not scheduled because of Sprint Car Speed Week.
Lima Land was supposed to do tomorrow night, and as we mentioned, that's
not happening.
Not happening. That's the All Stars are going to Atomic instead. They pulled the plug early on that, even before we got Dean Henry says 38. I didn't realize you were playing, Dean.
Oh, yeah.
Dean can play. Okay.
We still haven't gotten free pizza from him, though.
Yeah. When we get free pizza, then he can play. Toledo Speedway is off this weekend, as you mentioned, Attica Raceway Park. So those two were originally scheduled off. So there's really nothing going on Friday night in our area. Saturday nights, we do have some racing scheduled. Oakshade has Night of Wheels. Again, all those free bikes, etc., are going to be given away, as well as a full show of racing, UMP late models, UMP Sportsman, Bombers, Compacts. Gates open at 4, racing at 7, $14 general admission. That's Saturday night at Oakshade. Flat Rock in action. It's Ross Mortgage Level Pebble 200, featuring the ARCA Gold Cup late models going 100 laps, the ARCA CRA Super Series late models going 100 laps, plus figure eights in action as well. Pick 8 opens at 1, front gates open at 3, and racing at 7, $25. It'll get you in the door there. Also Saturday night, Sandusky Speedway in action, hopefully. Modifieds, Lake Erie Stocks, Beginner Stocks, Renegades. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. General admission just $10 there. And this is a scheduled off weekend for Fremont Speedway as well. So you got 3 tracks in the area, 2 paved, 1 dirt for Saturday night action. That's pretty much everything that's on the schedule. How about we check out Ryan Weekman's forecast?
I'm excited.
Are you?
Yeah.
Again, I got this before Lima Land canceled, so he was under the impression that things are looking good for Lima Land. So just remember that when we play this, please.
This is your weekend weather pit stop forecast. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman. After another depressing round of heavy rain Thursday, we're going to dry out rather quickly Friday. Sunshine should be out and about through much of the day. That means races down at Lima Land at 7:30 in the evening. I think things should get by just fine. We are looking at a very dry forecast. Scattered chances for thunderstorms Saturday morning look to largely slide south of the area. So Oakshade, Flat Rock, Sandusky, events kicking off there at 7 o'clock. Looks like largely we should be just fine. We'll watch the chance, though, for a couple isolated showers and thunderstorms. Better chance for rain this weekend looks to hold off till Sunday. Maybe, just maybe, get some more racing in this week. This has been your weekend weather pit stop forecast. Be sure to download that free First Alert weather app. We'll keep you ahead of any downpours. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman.
So there's a chance to get some more racing in this weekend.
Yeah, with the soaking rains that we've had a couple of days this week, make sure you just check social media, make sure that your track is okay. But
it sounds like there's a chance of storms Saturday, but it sounds like they might be going south of here.
Yeah.
So Sandusky, Flat Rock, Oakshade may be all right.
Yeah.
No guarantees, though, with this year. Don't know.
And I think that the rain that they were originally looking at during the day on Saturday has kind of moved back into Sunday. So early Sunday morning you might get wet, but 2, 3 o'clock. So who cares?
Dean says if we have a guest from around where he's at, he'll send pizza our way.
All right.
Who lives closest to you, Dean? Let us know. Maybe next week. Again, I won't be here next week, so...
but the pizza will be good, Scott.
But we're not doing it next week, Dean. Let's wait a couple weeks. Ron will be here carrying the show on his shoulders. And
I can do that.
Pretty good special guest if it
happens,
works out.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on our Facebook page. Make sure to follow us, like us. Again, like us on Twitter, all that good stuff. HammerdownRacingReport.com. All the information you need is there on how to listen. The Hammerdown Racing Report 3030. And, but yeah, anything you need to know, it's on there.
Keep your fingers crossed, pray, whatever it is that you want to do. No,
Do an
that we-
anti-rain dance.
That we get some racing in this weekend.
Get some fans out, just kind of blow it across
That's
the
right.
fields to help dry out.
Run around
everything
in
out.
circles.
Run around
Get that
circles.
vortex going.
There you go. No, Dean, not next week. It is not. No. He says next week it is, Ron.
Oh, perfect.
I hate you guys. You guys are so mean to me.
I'll eat Scott's share.
So that's going to do it for this edition of the Hammer Down Racing Report. Thanks to Ryan Missler for calling in earlier. We'll be back in action next Thursday.
Yes, we will.
Well, you will. But
Oh, well,
I won't. I'll be back in a couple weeks.
yeah. We'll see if our ratings plummet because Hammer's not here.
It'll probably go up.
I think we're okay, Scott.
Is Roddy going to run the Dirty 30?
I don't know. We'll have to ask his car owner. Is Roddy going to run the Dirty 30 at Sandusky?
Better if he doesn't tell me.
Okay. It's okay if he doesn't tell Alan.
There you go. Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
Unless he wins, and then you'll have to tell him.
Make sure you bring a friend with you to the racetrack this weekend. It may be the only weekend you get to go if the races do go in, because who knows what's going to happen every other weekend.
Yeah.
It just seems to rain.
Scott, we've got to get out of this weather pattern.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
It'll happen. All right. See you next week.
Yes.
You will.
Yeah, you're going to watch?
Yeah, I'll be watching from out of the country.
Very good.
Good luck.
Thanks, Scott.
Tune in again next Thursday, 7 p.m. Hammer Down Racing Report. We're out.
Thanks for
You
listening.
have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report from the Ron Miller Race Car Studio. Listen on demand on iHeartRadio,